Hello again, everyone. I am back with another video. This video is going to be kind of a little bit out of date, no longer topical by the time this video goes live, but I still want to talk about it anyway. In this case, I want to give my thoughts on Star Wars The Bad Batch now that the series is over. It will have ended probably a couple months ago at this point. I think it ended right around the time of May 4th. So, yeah, a little over a month ago. Anyway, there will be some spoilers for the series if you haven't watched it. It's all out on Disney+. There's about 47 episodes. Feel free to go ahead, check it out. I do give it a solid recommendation. Not all of it is, like, top tier, but it is still pretty good. I'd put it at either an A or a B if I were qualified to rate such things. Anyway, so The Bad Batch, if you're not familiar with it, is a series about the clone troopers that we met in the last season of Star Wars: The Clone Wars, Clone Force 99, whose nickname is the Bad Batch. They are not really defective clones, but clones with, like, certain deviations to them. And it follows this clone force in the aftermath of Order 66, the end of the Clone Wars, and it's really about them, and even eventually it sort of widens up to the clones as a whole, trying to navigate this new post-Clone Wars era galaxy with the rise of the Empire, and the Empire sort of phasing them out. So it's like, okay, well, what are we supposed to do now? So the Bad Batch has to sort of navigate this new world they find themselves in, especially since they're on the run from the Empire after leaving with a prized asset of the Empire in the form of another clone, a little girl by the name of Omega, who joins up with the crew. Overall, I think the show is pretty good. I did enjoy most of what I watched. Season 1, I felt like, was... The show's trying to find its groove, find its feet, if you will. A lot of the episodes are just kind of fillery, they're just kind of there, adventure of the week sort of thing. Excuse me. There were some standout episodes, the premiere and the finale being among them, and one of the other ones that come to mind are when the Batch meets up with Captain Rex to have their inhibitor chips removed. Overall, I think Season 1 is probably the weakest of the three. The best season, in my opinion, is Season 2. I feel like that is where it really finds its groove, it knows what it wants to be, and it runs with that. And to me, there wasn't really, I felt like, a lot of filler in Season 2. Maybe tech, motorbike racing, or hoverbike, speeder bike, whatever. Him doing a race, basically, probably could count as that. But that's honestly about the only one that comes to mind. Overall, I thought the storytelling in Season 2 got a lot better, particularly when we move away from the Batch and we tell stories about other clones or Crosshair that are either serving or dealing with the Empire. In particular, one Crosshair episode towards the end of the season, which I'm not going to get into that deeply because it's really good and needs to be seen for yourself. It's when Crosshair and this other clone trooper are trying to survive on their own in this harsh snow, ice, and winter environment. Oh, brain gets ahead of my mouth sometimes. And in terms of animation quality, like, the show really steps up, I think, in season 2 and 3. And honestly, the show as a whole is a step up in terms of animation quality from some of Lucasfilm's earlier works. Like, you go back and you look at early seasons of the Clone Wars, like my girlfriend and I are doing, and compare it to The Bad Batch or even Tales of the Empire, and I know we get about 15 years here difference. But, so of course it's going to get better, or at least you would think that. Me now sitting here thinking about how CGI seems to be going backwards. That's a topic for another video that I probably won't do. Anyway, the animation has gotten a lot better, is what I mean to say. Some of the shots in both Tales of the Empire and Bad Batch are just gorgeous to look at, in my opinion. Then we have Season 3, the story of which, I don't know whether it was just the week-to-week aspect of it, but I definitely got to a point where I kind of wish that Disney would just drop the whole thing. Just, like, finish the whole thing. Drop the whole thing at once, please. Because the week-to-week waiting and watching for this half-hour show just kind of drug on me at certain points. Like, I felt like, because the plot of Season 3 largely has to do with the mystery of why the Empire wants Omega so badly, and what her connection with Project Necromancer is. And I'm not gonna lie, I got a little bit peevish when I heard that name drop, because we all know what Project Necromancer is, or at least we're pretty sure we know what Project Necromancer is. And yeah, I won't get into that too heavily. But how they handle it in terms of the rest of the plot of the show, I didn't wind up being unhappy. I don't think it intruded that much. And overall, I do feel like the last season of the show stuck the landing, even if its score wouldn't be that high. And I felt like there were times where the mystery was drawn out just for the sake of drawing it out. It honestly felt like some of the later seasons of The Blacklist, where it felt like we were keeping things mysterious just to keep it mysterious. Like, we weren't being given answers just so we could keep this going. It felt like, it felt like some of the episodes could have been cut or condensed or something. I'm particularly annoyed about the one episode that Asajj Ventress shows up in, and how we get zero answer about how is she alive. Like, Tech figures out, or not Tech, Tech's dead by that point. Again, warned you, spoilers. Like, they figure out that it's Ventress. Like, from Republic files. You would think the Republic files would indicate, yo, she's dead. So how is she here? It's never addressed. It's hinted at. And I have some ideas in my head about how it could have happened. But there's no answers. So we're going to have to wait for a comic, or a book, or another show. And it's just like, you tease us with this and then you give us nothing. And honestly, that happened a lot in this show. Like, they don't outright tell you what Project Necromancer is. They don't outright tell you. Like, you're meant to sort of piece together and guess what's going on, like, why they want Omega. There's one mystery that I thought we'd get to that just went unresolved altogether. But I'm running out of time, so we're not going to get into that. Anyways, overall, like I said, The Bad Batch, I'd say it's good. It's not great, but it is good. And maybe I would like Season 3 more if I could just binge it all in, like, a couple of goes. Anyway, that's all I got for now. You guys have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time.